Hey, Nicole.
Hey, how are you?
How you,
I'm good.
I'm
I'm,
incredible.
I'm so happy we're able to connect. I feel like our visions are aligned in a lot of ways. And I'm just so excited to do this interview. This is like basically for me and my community out here in Jersey. I have a small community out here, and we're just trying to think differently because
Yeah,
like the world we live in now tries to condition us, school and then tunnel us into the work system and all this stuff. And I kind of treaded a different path through real estate investing. I flip houses. I'm a realtor in PA, Jersey. And then I'm a landlord. So I also have 4 properties and I'm making passive income. And so that's like doing things a lot differently than the norm. And I feel like you are
yeah,
too. So I wanted to connect. How are you doing?
yeah, for sure. Well, I'm incredible. I definitely appreciate you, having me on here. I think it's really dope what you do. I feel like there's a huge need for what you do. I mean, you're right. We are doing things differently, and for the individuals out there that kind of want to go down that same different path, sometimes they feel like they're the only ones, right? So it's cool that you're creating a sense of community and bringing those people together. So it's kind of like we're like-minded and moving forward in the right direction while being different and not feeling so like, man, we're the only ones out here, that are
Yeah.
so that are inspired to go down this different path and are really excited and have this clear vision of wanting to create something different and special in terms of generational wealth, passive income, and living life on their terms.
I love that. That's what my YouTube's called. It's called Creating Your Own Reality. And so it like that right there has so many layers of meanings. And then so what I do every week, this is CEO chats, because I know that you're a CEO in your own right and everything that you do. And then we're also, we're a part of that younger generation doing it. I feel like online a lot, you have like the older CEOs kind of like who are set in like older generations telling people what to do. And I wanted people to see that our demographic, we're also hustling in different ways and trying to create a life for ourselves. And I love this quote that you had on your Instagram. And you said, I help people create freedom so they can travel the world. Oh, I love
Yeah,
that. Can you expand on what that means?
yeah, man. I mean, one of the biggest like inspiring factors for me wanting to be an entrepreneur was to really travel the world. I just remember sitting in my cubicle back in like 2012, and I had recently graduated from college, and right before I graduated, I had like studied abroad and did some pretty cool things in other countries, and that's when I kind of got like the travel bug, and I knew deep down inside, man, I like if there was a way that I can travel the world, but yet still like become successful, make all the money that I want, live life on my terms. I was like, man, I just want to be able to do that, right? And I just remember sitting at that job, that had nothing to do with my degree, had all this student loan debt, and I was like, and I never, that feeling never left me. It never left me, and I just remember always going to work thinking about how can I have that. Over and over again, how can I have that? I remember writing in my journal, reading books, going to conferences, going to seminars, just creating mastermind groups, wanting to figure out how to do that. And when I started finding different opportunities in which that can allow me to create passive income, from real estate, from different marketing opportunities, and of course now Airbnb, that was always like the driving factor for me. I didn't want to just make money. Like, yes, I want to make a lot of money, but like that wasn't going to be the only thing that excited me. Like, I want to be able to make money, right? Of course, at a high level, but I also want to travel the world because that was something I loved, right? Like whenever I traveled the world, traveled different places, it made me feel the most alive. It inspired me the most. It exposed me to more. It allowed me to meet some amazing people. It really showed me that there's so much more to life. Every time I went to a new country, so it's like, man, I want that, and I want that for the rest of my life. So as I really started developing, in as an entrepreneur and creating success and building different businesses, it allowed me to do that. Like I reached that point of being able to travel the world while creating significant passive income. But now I'm really, encouraged to help other people to do the same thing because so many people, they reach out to me, they want that same thing. So it's pretty cool that, I'm able to kind of teach people ways on how they can go about doing that themselves.
I love that. Everything you said, I love to travel as well. And one of the things that helped me do that was understanding that money is just the exchange of time, you know? And then when I changed my relationship with money, and I was like, oh, like this is just, it's just my time that's valuable, you know, not the dollar. And then when I realized that, like something shifted in my mind and I was like, oh, I need passive streams of income so I can actually live my life for me and not, you know, live my life for a job. And like, this is just our personal feelings, you know, like there's some people who out there who love their jobs and love working and love doing what they do. But for me personally, I just didn't know that there were these other options available because it's not traditionally taught, you know? And so to be able to make money and travel, like I admire you so much and you're living in your purpose and what you're supposed to do. I'm happy for you. So congratulations. I definitely have a lot of listeners who want to do this as well. So what are your passive streams of income and like what advice would you give people who are looking to do the same thing?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, one of my one of my favorite passive income streams is building an Airbnb business, right? Because when it comes to having an Airbnb business, you know, I'm more so say short-term rentals because Airbnb is just one of the platforms that we leverage. Everybody is familiar with Airbnb, but it's really more so short-term rentals, right? And when it comes to the short-term rental industry, there's popular websites like Airbnb, vrbo, even utilizing Booking.com. We have the ability to take a property and we can list it and make money, right? But it doesn't just have to be like a house or a condo, an apartment. It could be a tent, it could be a boat, it could be, I mean, all types of, if you go on Airbnb, you see all types of unique places in which you can sleep, tree houses, right? If somebody can sleep there, you can pretty much list it, right? Now, when it comes to these properties, it could be a property that you own, or it could be a property that you don't own. You can either lease or rent that space, right? And that's where I focus. I focus on the rental arbitrage route, making money off of properties that we don't own. And how we go about doing that is where we literally legally create partnerships with landlords and property managers and apartments all around the world. And we acquire these properties through leasing and we furnish it, make it look nice. And in turn, we put it on these sites like Airbnb, VRBO, and we make money. Right. And then we can actually automate the whole entire process in terms of from a guest being able to check in and check out of the property, from how the property gets cleaned. I mean, if anything were to happen, you know, there's somebody that can physically go there outside myself. And we have like a well-oiled machine while people are staying in our properties, having amazing experiences. We don't have to physically be present. Wow. So I'm able to have this whole entire business just happening and I could be at home or I can be in another country. It doesn't really matter. It's passive and it's automated.
Wow. So I love what you said there. So when I was originally going to talk to you, I thought we were just going to talk about Airbnb, but you listed a couple different platforms because you're maxing out, you know, what you're able to grasp onto. I love that. And so my friend Melissa is going to love that because she's trying to get into Airbnb and she had a question for you because she also follows you on Instagram and loves your content. One of her questions was, how do you find areas with high earning potentials?
I mean, that's a really good question. And I mean, for me, I more so don't necessarily target like specific cities. I always say, number one, you know, start where you are and more so search for the most, you know, high earning areas in which you are, right? And if that's not necessarily doable based on where you are, maybe you're like in a very rural place or country place, I don't know, then maybe look for the next best city or state in which, you know, it does make sense. And again, you can target areas within that city or state. And you can do it based on research in the market. See what other Airbnb hosts are charging the market, right? And I feel like by you being you know, checking comps and things of that nature, you'll be able to find and understand what the going rate. And again, you can literally do that from market to market. But me personally, I don't necessarily like chase specific places. I more so go off of, okay, where I'm at or what's the next best situation in terms of proximity. You know, that's kind of how I move.
Oh, she's going to love that. Thank you. And one of our other questions that she had was, do you do international? So now that I know that you just talk about your surrounding areas, what about international Airbnbs? Is that something?
So, not yet, not yet. That's definitely something in the works. That's definitely something that I do want to do. But yeah, not currently, but it's definitely in motion.
No, I mean, you're killing it. And I love everything that you're trying to do for you and your family, creating generational wealth, creating opportunities for other people to learn to do it too. Because I feel like most entrepreneurs are like, no, this is mine. Like, I want this market. Like, I want to do it as I don't want to teach anybody, you know? So, like, what got you inspired to start teaching? Because I know that's what you also do on your platform. You teach a lot of your listeners and you have a lot of programs.
Yep. I do have a program in which I teach people step by step on how they can go out there and build their business, right? I have a bunch of success stories, a bunch of students from all walks of life that have gone through this program and have gotten their first property, their second property, third property, and are literally growing their business. What got me into doing that was number one, I had a bunch of people just like constantly reaching out to me, DMing me. But very specifically, I had this one close friend and fraternity brother. And I remember him calling me at like 11 o'clock at night. And I was like, I was like setting up, an actual new Airbnb at that time. And he called me and he had so much conviction in his voice about how much he wants to learn this business. And he was like, look, man, just look, I just need you to teach me. Like we spoke about this years ago. I'm ready. Like, just teach me. Mm-hmm. And, he was so compelling. I was like, you know what? I mean, I've thought about, maybe helping people and teaching people how to get into the business, but, he kind of sold me, on the fact that I should do it. So that was a catalyst.
Nice. Life is like that sometimes. It's just, you're just going with the flow, doing what you do every day. And then sometimes there's just like a pull of like, okay, I need to start doing this path as well. And that's kind of what started my YouTube is people, saw me flourishing in my own way and saw me working, but I also wasn't just like saying like, this is easy. I was showing like what was hard about what I was doing, whether it's like contractor relationships and stuff like that. And people wanted to learn, but I couldn't really teach it on a one-to-one platform yet. And so I just created this YouTube. And I'm actually trying to get an Airbnb as well. So like you're right now mentoring me and I love it. And you have so much information, but I want to join your course. So if I'm going to join your course, how much, like, what do I sign up? What are the details?
Yeah, that's a good question. Well, I mean, you have a really good YouTube voice, so I could definitely see you out there crushing it. Like you have the aura, you have the energy, you have the personality. So absolutely, that's definitely aligned with you for sure. But in terms of anybody that's serious about, getting into my program, they can go straight to my website, www.limitlessbnb.com. They can literally enroll into the program. They'll literally get everything instant. They'll even get access to our private Facebook group, which is one of my favorite parts of the program because we have a community, like-minded people. Again, short-term rental entrepreneurs, brand new people that just got their first property, people that are progressing, and we help each other succeed, which is what I really love about that. And it's just me watching it unfold. Before it was me just going in there and teaching people, but now to see other people growing their business and helping other people out, it's really cool to see that happening. And or you can also reach out to me on Instagram as well, by DMing me, Kamoy, or follow me, Kamoy, KEMOY _Martin, MARTIN. Pretty accessible,
Yeah, the information is going to be below in the video. Your classes, your IG handle, everything. I think people are going to be very perceptive to this and want to join on your course. I'm super excited to get more information on that. And thank you so much for coming out and talking to me. Like the 15 minutes just flew by. Like I feel like I could pick your brain, but I respect your time and I just appreciate you coming onto my platform and just exposing your knowledge and what you know to, the people out there. So thank you, Kamoy. I really appreciate you.
Nicole, I appreciate you for having me. Keep inspiring people, keep sharing the message on, people having the ability to really live life on their terms. Again, like I said in the beginning, there's such a need for what you do. I appreciate what you do and, keep inspiring, keep changing the world.
Thank you. you. I appreciate that. Like people like hearing that from you is a big deal to me. So thank you. And I'm just going to stop the recording right there. If anybody wants to follow Kamoy or go on his website, the information's below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. If you have any questions for either one of us, you can comment it and I'll make sure to screenshot it and email it to Kamoy directly. But I think that we can definitely combine our communities and grow even more. So I'm excited to see where this interview goes. Thank you so much for joining, and I hope everybody has an amazing Wednesday.